But man, some groundbreaking things were revealed the other night. Elon Musk had a technology reveal where he just revealed the new self-driving robotaxi, the 20-plus passenger robovan, the Optimus humanoid robot. How do we feel about this? First of all, let me say this. The designs out of this world are like a sci-fi movie flick.
Spitting
Everything
image
that you've
iRobot.
seen about the future, this is what it looks like.
We starting to see Back to the Future in real time.
We seeing it in real time. So he has the self-driving taxi. Me personally, I'm not fucking with
none of that.
Nothing that's driving itself. I don't even like riding with other people that's driving me, let alone a piece of technology that can be hacked, that can go wrong, haywire, anything. Like, I'm cool on the self-driving anything. Mm-hmm. I'm cool on the electric shit, anything. Me, I'm a gas man. I worked in the oil field almost 15 plus years, so I'm oil 100%, gas combustion engines. I'm cool on the electric charging anything. But that bus, that shit is hard. I'm not gonna lie. The design is crazy. That motherfucker is viral. And as far as the humanoid robots, listen, bro.
Is that the one they talking about, like, babysit your kids and all that shit?
Take groceries to your cars,
they're
everything.
doing a lot of shit. We all seen iRobot.
Go watch. Yeah, I'm finna say, go watch iRobot, nigga.
I'm cool. We saw this movie before. The writing is on the wall. I'm not fucking with it. I don't care how many house chores it can do. Listen, Will Smith is just an actor. If them motherfuckers get to really tripping, Sarah Connor don't exist. Will Smith, he's an actor. He's not coming to save us. So I'm cool on that. But how did y'all feel about the new technology, man? It looks like the future is here.
Spitting image of iRobot, like y'all said. You know what? There's already other countries that have autonomous vehicles. The robot thing was cool. I think that it's scary if, when you do think about if it was to advance, it could replace, bartenders, like he was saying, just regular everyday interaction jobs that we have that we would consider essential. I feel like can be replaced by those robots, as well as he said he wanted them to be able to be out within society to where you could walk up to one, hey, what's the deal? And so that could, have negative ramifications. If you've seen iRobot, then again, you do know that the way that they were programmed was under, 3 laws. However, there were some things to that fucked it up. So I think that's definitely possible when it comes to something that's fully autonomous. Do I really think this is going to happen though? And to me, that's the question. I don't. Not right now, at least, not for a while. This is something that Elon to me is doing because Tesla stock was kind of down. It's something that he's showing to be like, oh my God, I got all this equipment, this high power equipment, and this is what we can do. But I don't see it coming into play.
See, this
anytime soon.
This where y'all fuck up because they sprinkle it right in your face and show you the direction that they headed. And while they doing it, we still don't believe it. Like, they're showing you right here, right now that they're.
Yeah.
If they credit one of these, they have plenty of these. They said they done made so many that was malfunctioning. They getting it all right. They getting it together. Now it's probably gonna cost a lot of money, but just imagine when them robots get to run in the streets. Having your ass and having you on curfew. Get to having your ass at security, nigga. They ain't worried about nothing. That robot kill you, can't do shit. Ain't no squabbling that motherfucker. And you gonna need something big to blow his back out. Everybody gonna have to have desert eagles. And other than that, nigga, it's finna get ugly, nigga, if they want to. So I don't like none of that robot shit. And they talking about babysitting your kids. That motherfucker malfunction and snap your baby neck or something, or don't know how to really change the diaper, or don't do certain shit. Like, you let alone don't want to leave your fucking kids with other humans. You talking about leaving this motherfucker with a robot. And people is sheep. They gonna be quick to jump on that shit. Or just to be happy to say, I got a robot and you don't.
Exactly.
Well, a lot of famous people are gonna get it first, and then that's what it's gonna do. The reason why I said I don't think it'll happen anytime soon is because the government doesn't like Elon. Like, a lot of the things that he tries to do gets denied because you have to be under some sort of government contract. And a lot of the things that he proposes, due to him having that rift and now being super pro-Trump, it's been hard. He talked about that in the Tucker Carlson interview, how like they don't really fuck with him. So for that to be mass distributed to America, I think it would have to take a little bit more, or at least he would have to bend some rules and compromise with the government.
2025, these robots should be out, and they should be about 30,000. So
20 to 30, yeah.
20 to 30,000. You can have a 20 to $30,000 babysitter. So let's just think about all the thought bitches who got an extra 20, 30 bands. They could be in Cancun, Jamaica at any time. Just boot up the robot and these bitches is out. Because right now they can't find babysitters and they just leaving their babies at home. Baby 6 months been at home a week.
Hey, you know what's even? Now I'm gonna let you go real quick, Brandon. What's even more crazy about that? You can't call a robot. They probably do. I just seen they was interviewing a robot. A robot talking about they want to be human and shit, just like the damn movie. Talking about I want to see feeling how a human feel and all this other crazy shit.
Programming because they're getting you ready for what happens. So when it happens, your mind is already booted up to accept it. I'm cool on the robot shit. They showing you bartenders and all this is cool. They're not showing you they got an army of these motherfuckers with 1,000 inspector gadgets. Like, hey, curfew time, get your ass in the house.
Or somebody hacks the system and turns them against everybody.
You're gonna be in one of them self-driven cars. And they're like, oh, this nigga got a warrant. It's going to self-drive your ass to the police station.
Facts.
It ain't going to be fun no more. So how you feel about it, Ruckus Killer?
Yeah, so we all like, I ain't fucking with it. Nigga, it's not for us. It's for the future generations because they'll do anything that TV or the internet tell them to do. But ultimately, with the robots, I'm not really tripping on the robots. The only thing I would say is when they do become, mainstream, we got to have some type of laws against the armor plating, whatever they're plated with. It got to be penetrable. We got to be able to kill that. We got to be able to blast that motherfucker to smithereens. I mean, even if you run the risk of it being less durable, we got to have something to where if it's, Terminator freaking future dystopia.
You're never going to have access to nothing like that. That's going to be government control. Well, people already getting stuck in their Teslas. Can't even get out the Tesla because this motherfucker charging.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like you got to have some type of laws in place. But ultimately, it's technology. You're never going to stand in the way of progress.
Fact.
Just make sure it's actually progress. Because a lot of times, like, even when they made the iPod and shit, like, I was like, nigga, my phone play music. Well, I need another thing to carry to play music on it, right? I got the phone with the jack, with the downloader on it, all that. Sometimes they do shit just for the sake of doing it, and then when you move forward, you realize that the technology was damn near obsolete before.
The iPod was genius.
It's to create a marketplace.
I was genius because you got way more songs, you got way more shit not taking up memory on your phone. And them motherfuckers lasted all day.
Man, you got that you got that damn iPod and you listening to the same 40 songs.
Not me, nigga.
I had at least 1,500 songs.
You send him to the homie send him to the homie every couple weeks. He go to line, he do whatever he do, bring it back with 1,000 new songs.
Every day.
But look, what did they realize? They said, damn, instead of these iPods, we can just add more memory to the phone. Now the iPod is obsolete. It was just something that they released and sold a lot of it. They had the technology to make the phone like it is now. They just said, nah, if we separate this technology, we can make more money.
I'm more shocked at you not being worried about these robots. Just think about it. You could program a robot to do anything. So what if they just start programming them motherfuckers to be racist? And all you Pan-Africanists, we finna send 3 iRobots come wipe your whole shit out. Ain't no more Pan-Africanism. It ain't none of that.
But let me sprinkle you with some dust real quick. I'd rather than program a robot than program a person. Because a robot that is programmed has no ability to really be deceptive. They're programmed to do this. They're overt with it. A human being, they're covert. They can have one agenda in their mind and be sitting up pretending like they on your team. So I'd rather a robot because I know when I see the robot, you got to fuck that up. I see the person, I got to second guess. Damn,
what do you mean by deceptive though? Hold on. What do you mean by deceptive? Because on the movie,
I'd rather deal with a person anyway because I can study human nature. There's certain things you can't deny as far as body language and everything about human nature. A robot, if that motherfucker trained to kill, it ain't stopping until you through, nigga. You gotta put it down. A human, you get back cracking on it, or it bleed the way you bleed.
We gotta open this
up. You got able to shut that down.
We gotta open this up. Let me just dead that point real fast. If you look at any futuristic movie, what do the robots try to do once they can't gain ground on the humans? Terminator. What did they do? They was fighting the humans as robots. And they got to a stalemate where it was like both sides couldn't push the other back. The robots immediately said, damn, we got to figure out a way to make these robots look more human. Why? So they can have the deception factor. Remember, the Terminator, he looked like a person. So you wouldn't even know if he was a Terminator. And if you follow that storyline, what happened? They made the Terminators more and more human to where humans can recognize them so they could what? Infiltrate.
Okay, you're saying
But
like
you-
you're
but
saying
as
like
long
it's
as
bad.
they-
That
they
makes
can't
sense.
do
As
that.
long
But
as they don't make them into human, as long as they
They
don't
already
make
got the human mask where his humans walking around that ain't even the
I
person
thought you
of the
just
mask
meant
they got
deceptive
on.
as in like
Trying to
their
talk to you,
no,
deceive you.
or their nature or hiding or things of that
Exactly.
nature.
But even on Terminator, you knew that nigga was different. Like even when the kid seen him and was talking to him, he knew something was up. Like this
Frequency
nigga
is
ain't
real,
regular.
bro.
Yeah.
But to your point, you ain't been seeing what been going on with the Chat GPT, where they like, hey, this shit is learning. It's evolving past what it was designed to do, what it was programmed to do, where they had the fucking systems talking to each other and creating their own language that we couldn't understand, which is why Elon was one of the first ones to tweet, hey, this AI shit is dangerous. So now everybody's confused going, hey, you was leading the ship on, we might got to slow down on this artificial intelligence because it's learning too fast and pretty soon we're not going to be able to keep up with this
Just
shit.
tell the difference.
And now you just came out with a robot?
But that's Elon Musk in a nutshell. Like that's why you can't really put too much stock into what he says because at the end of the day, he has a corporation that's built off of, you know what I mean, into the future and advance in the future. That's what his whole corporation and business is modeled by. And he's going to do anything to be that person that, you know, makes those advancements for the future. So he could go up here and say, oh, well, AI is getting dangerous. Yeah, but not my AI. You get what I'm saying? Because this is the AI you need, not this AI package. So that's really all that is him just wanting people to invest in his product and not other products, because that's exactly how he paints it. Well, my AI is fail-proof, and we're going to have a robot that's going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. But over here, Chat GPT, look at this. They figured out how to, you know, make their own language that we don't understand. What's to say that doesn't happen, you know what I mean, within those Optimus robots as well?
Stock up
This
on
is-
guns, man. You're gonna need big shit, shotguns, Dracos, ARs. Like, nigga, you gonna need something big to put that shit down. Them little 40s and shit. You're gonna need more than a 30. You're gonna need a 60 clip.
And I think programming
play,
a human is easy is better for us going against than programming a robot, because like he said, if you program that robot, it's enforced. Like there is no convincing a robot to come over to your side or ideology or change their mission. Whereas you might be able to get in front of a human and talk them down from shooting you maybe. You can't do that for a
That's
robot.
why I want the robot,
There's no
because I want to
empathy.
just be able to dead that motherfucker without no remorse. I want to do it with
Okay, well,
extreme
then it's that,
precision.
yeah.
They gonna send a cop. They gonna send a cop robot still treated like a dog. You still gonna do a life sentence behind a fucking non-existent human.
Hey,
yeah.
facts.
Or you killed the robot. Yeah.
Hey,
And we know the timestamp. The robot got a camera on his eyes. Nigga, you know everything you did, every move you made, nigga.
This what Ruckus missing though. Y'all not seeing the writing on the wall? Everything is gonna be controlled by AI. Think about your house. Your front door now is being locked with AI. Your blinds, everything, your television, everything is smart. So you don't think this robot gonna be able to tap into everything? The robot don't even gotta come in your house to whack you. That motherfucker had your TV fly off the wall and snap your neck or some crazy
I
shit.
don't know. I don't know if
what I'm saying?
I don't know if you've seen that too. But those, like the way people were able to log into their house with their fingerprint and stuff like that during the hurricanes, that was a catastrophe for those people. They couldn't even get into their homes because of those systems. So it's not a good idea to
Yeah,
really
your ass
to
is
do
dumb.
that. Get a regular fucking.
You gotta
door
have
lock.
more than one way to get in your house
Yeah,
for sure.
but-
Depending on
Or
all
pop the screen on that
electronics.
motherfucker. So, yeah,
but
like the
as
screen
long-
under
I
the
ain't never
pot.
had a house
Yeah.
where I couldn't get in. I knew ways to get in multiple
Right.
ways.
That's a fact.
Like,
Yeah,
As
that's
long as
Yeah,
doors
yeah,
open
yeah.
or that window got the crack in it, you slide that motherfucker up.
I'm not gonna knock it as long as you have a choice to participate or not. If they force the niggas to do that shit, yeah, it's an issue. But it's just like the movie I, Robot, right? Will Smith chose to wear the Chucks. He chose to watch that old ass TV. He chose to just do things like they did in the past because he didn't trust technology. And that's the biggest thing why I support Elon Musk, especially since he came out as a Trump supporter. Because Trump is just like, I love all the technology, but you gotta give people a choice to participate or not. The Democrats is like, nigga, we getting rid of all.
he going back to political. He was going
I'm using this.
He can't help it. He couldn't wait.
This is an example. I'm using this.
Kamala and these robots.
Well, use it as a segue
God
into the Obama
damn,
shit. Use it as a segue into Obama shit. But look, all I'm saying is, in California, by 2030, they talking about no more combustion engines. They not import none. You didn't have a choice in that matter. Gavin Newsom just decided that and signed the damn decree. No more combustion. You don't, in Alabama, everywhere else, you got a choice if you want to participate or not. That's why I keep saying I'm cool with the politicians that's like, just give people a choice. You want the Challenger with the combustion or you want the Tesla with the electric?
With the electric, yeah.
I don't trust no politicians who try to take people's choice away and say, well, we're taking away your choice because we got to save the environment and shit like that. And that's what I feel with the technology, the robots and shit. That's where they're going to try to go with it. They're going to try to bring it in under the guise, just like the COVID shit. They're going to try to bring it in under the guise of public safety. Oh, look, the school bus that's driven by the AI is more safe than the school bus driven by the bus driver because this many bus drivers had accidents last year and stuff like that. They're going to steal your freedom under the guise of safety and protecting you. That's what people need to be looking out for.
I want to go on one more key point on that iRobot movie of why Will Smith stopped trusting the robots. Because remember, I think he had his baby, and they was in the water drowning, and the robot jumped in to save him. But the robot went off his meter and decided that he had a 37% greater chance of surviving, but a human instinct would have knew that baby still had time to survive, and it went after him instead of the baby. So it won't be able to decipher if your baby is in the building and you closer from the fire than the baby is. The motherfucker gonna come save you and not that damn baby.
Because it's based off of statistics and not emotion.
Yeah.
It don't got no humanity.
It's based off of calculations. And you right, but it was just
Damn,
a
I
little.
forgot about that
It was a
part of the
little
movie.
girl,
That's in
but
the
it
beginning,
wasn't
I
his
think,
daughter.
yeah.
But it was a little girl, and he was like, "Why didn't it save the
Finna
little
go
girl?"
watch that
That's
shit.
That's why he didn't fuck with it. Because he
He's
said the
half
machines
robot
had
though,
no.
or he got a robot
Now
arm.
he ended up
don't
getting half robot after all that shit.
He had a robot arm.
Oh, so that's how he was able to really be the chosen one type.
That's
shit.
why he was able to squabble with
and,
them niggas.
and he understood. That's why he was tripping the whole time. And then to kind of find out, if y'all pay attention, iRobot, it was one good robot.
Sonny.
That was the only robot that was actually trying to fuck with him, and it was getting smarter. And that was the one that ended up being on his side versus the other ones.
And the only reason why he was like that is because he was made with free will and like whatever it was. Some other shit. He was made with like.
The thing I would say, and this will be for the techies who watching, I have no problem with the robots. I don't believe in just having everything integrated into one system. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like your car, right? Tesla, it's all integrated into one system where they can shut all them motherfuckers down universally. Your gas powered car, your Chevy, what you driving ain't connected to what I'm driving.
Right.
What you do ain't got shit, no impact on what I do. If somebody pours sugar in your gas tank, it ain't gonna make my shit shut down. These networks are the problem to me. That's Skynet right there. That's where too much shit is controlled by one entity. And then you got the thing where the shit becomes self-aware and now I got a million things under its control. I think they should definitely, like they trying to break up Google right now for that very reason. Because it's fine as long as it's separated.
You got to think on a bigger scale, though. Just imagine if they can program all this shit. You know how many people are going to be out of jobs? If I could make a robot that can never get tired, work your labor job.
Well, that's the
You know
point,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? The same way you pull up in a damn drive-thru, you can't even talk to a human no more. You talking to AI. It's gonna be over with. They're gonna be back there flipping your burgers, taking orders, doing everything else, nigga.
Fucking your bitch.
It was just like with the. It's low-key
But
just
majority,
like with
what are
the.
humans gonna end up doing? They making it to the point where we literally aren't doing shit.
It was like with the ports, you know, in China, how they switched over to automation. Corporations, I think a lot of what they do is they'll bite the bullet on cost in the beginning because they know down the line they're going to save this amount of money. So whatever the case is. So if I can fire, let's say 500,000 workers and put that with 500,000 robots, I might bite or I might eat shit on the initial cost, but over a 15 to 50 year span, I'm not paying them niggas nothing, and they gonna run fail proof. So I just saved millions and possibly billions of dollars.
But this is my question though, because Elon says within the next decade there will be no need for humans to have jobs. So with that being said, are we gonna not have bills? Because if a robot
that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Because I don't think they're gonna eliminate bills. They just gonna eliminate jobs, but your ass still gotta pay rent. Your ass still gotta pay mortgage. I mean, just think about it. If a robot's doing everything, the whole system that we have now, it kind of ceased to exist, because what value does a human now have to trade for assets and money in order to buy things? That's no longer exists.
So I feel like this is where we're getting to when I talk about Mark Zuckerberg, smart glasses, and all this stuff. I think eventually the future goes to where humans value is within the virtual reality realm. It's not going to necessarily be within, and this is just talking futuristic. I don't think it's going to be within like real time. So we'll have those robots running real world operations, but where our value will be in the virtual reality world, like Ready Player One type shit. That's kind of how I feel about it. I even feel like the whole way of how everything's going to be under one system, because that is what countries are going to eventually go to. And I think we're going to start having these wars cyber-wise as well as possibly, you know, in the sky. I don't think
they're gonna give one more thing. They're gonna give people instant gratification for purchasing one of their fucking robots. So they're gonna make you think you getting all the candy and everything else, but the sugar gonna turn to shit. They're gonna offer you robots, and then they're gonna make you believe that you're winning by purchasing this robot, not knowing they're gonna have full control over that robot. And go back to like you said, far as human wise, it's gonna be to a point where they might give you a robot like, yeah, well, you ain't got to pay no taxes for 10 years or something if you get this robot and do this or do that. But 9 times out of 10, most people going to be fucked. If you ain't got self-made businesses that can never go out without what the need for humans, it's going to get ugly.
I just want to say one more thing about that. You know, they can do less. They can do less than that. They can do less than that because they got Sway Lee. They got 2 Chainz already driving around in cars and promoting it. And like 2 Chainz already like, I'm going to buy one of you next year or whatever he said. So I think people will buy them based off of less than that. Just a celebrity saying, hey, I'm getting one in my house tomorrow. Fuck it. I want to be like 2 Chainz. I'm going to grab one.
The rapper's going to make it look cool.
Yeah, they gonna
and then,
make, you know what I mean?
the world follow everything black people do.
I think everything boils down to the choice that we're going to make. Humans have a choice as to whether they want to be replaced by machines, right? Because you could simply say, I'm not going to buy from a company that's using machines instead of human labor. We have a choice based on what we choose. Always understand the free market. The free market is controlled by who?
This is a deeper conversation because we
got to give you pushback on
choice
that.
could be an illusion to a certain degree.
I was extremely patient. Listen, you have a choice, bro. The free market is undefeated, right? Somebody might say, you know what? I'm gonna just like you. You said I'm an oil man. I'm always gonna fuck with the oil route, the combustion engine. What's gonna happen is more individuals who don't like to make decisions and don't like to be held accountable for their decisions, the onus is going to be placed on them to make a choice. And based on that choice, they're going to receive a certain set of results. And I believe that the situation will self-correct because as people start to realize my decisions are impacting the results that I'm getting, they're going to say, look, I want to be able to go get a job. I want to be able to, because once motherfuckers hit that outside and that wind start blowing and they living in a tent, they're going to be like, damn, maybe I need to decide better. Once the government say, we're not going to save you, there's no more money for you, you go to third world countries. Those people have an incredible sense of self-reliance compared to people in America. Why? Because they don't got the safety nets. And what people in America like to do, we like to tear at our safety net. We like to test it. Let's see if it'll survive this and survive that. And once that motherfucker fall through, everybody's going to have the same epiphany. And I think that's when the United States or this country is going to get back on the right track.
You say we got a choice. I got to push back on that. Like Kali just said, choice is often an illusion. So they give you the illusion to pick the robot or not. But over time, once everyone gets the robot and jobs are being eliminated, where's the choice in that? Like there's a game. Don't quote me on the exact characters, but there's 2 wolves and then everybody else is like a villager, right? So say we got 10 people in the room. So it's the villagers versus the wolves. They don't tell you who's who. But the object of the game is the villagers got to kill the 2 wolves or the wolves got to kill the villagers first. And whoever kills everybody wins. 99% of the time, the wolves win because you have the villagers like, okay, I think such and such is the wolf. So now all the villagers got to agree or disagree to, okay, that's the wolf, kill it. They all wind up killing each other while the wolves are sitting back picking each other off because the wolves are, I believe the wolves are told who the villagers are. So it's easy. So when it's their turn, it's easy. Oh yeah, pick off Ruckus. Oh yeah, pick off Kali. Pick off Messiah. Pick off Viral. We know. But the villagers, we start fighting amongst each other. Man, you the wolf. Nah, you the wolf. You the wolf. That's what we see in real time with society. We going against each other when the wolves are actually feeding on society, giving you the illusion of choice. You think you making a choice. Nigga, ain't no choice right now. When I call a 1-800-HELP hotline, I got to go through 50 AI fucking bots before I can get to a human.
You gotta
by
do
the
that-
time I get to the human, the call drop and I got to do it again.
And you
Or
gotta
he asked you the same question.
You gotta low key go nuts. Like, give me a representative. Like, give me a representative. I didn't hear you. Was that yes? Give me a fucking representative. Like,
But
Can you repeat that?
But
Like,
if you look at us, we all in the same boat, right? Because I'm a dude who want to talk to a representative too, right? So the fact that we still demand a representative forces them to still pay a representative. Now they change it and say, well, we're not going to give you no representatives. We're just going to have AI. Guess what people tend to do? They tend to leave companies that only offer AI customer service. That's what companies know through studies. The whole thing with the wolf, I'm just making it simple for you guys, the audience, everything. I want you guys to know this. You want to know who's against you? You think it's the rich. It's the rich versus the poor. It's not. It's the rich and the poor versus the middle class. The rich, you manipulate the poor, making them believe that they're going to give them free shit by taking it from the middle class. And the poor is like, I like free shit, so let's just both jump the middle class. If you ever wanted to know who's your boogeyman, those people in your family who borrow $50 from you every month for their phone bill, they will string your ass up just for the luxury of getting that same $50, but not having to humble themselves to ask you for it.
see, but
It's
the poor is easier to manipulate,
Right.
way easier to control. So it's not really, they're not really a threat. So they're never really even looking at them. The middle class actually has action at becoming the top class. So I don't really see the middle class as being much of a threat in that sense.
The poor is a threat because the poor has the numbers. Always remember, the poor outnumber everybody.
But just like I said with the wolf and the villagers,
Yeah.
the villagers have the numbers, but they don't have the information. So
Right.
you having the numbers is completely irrelevant. If I got the information, I got the advantage. I don't give a fuck how many numbers you got. You don't know how to play the game. You don't know the strategy. So y'all wind up whacking each other and knocking each other off due to lack of information where I have the info. I got the knowledge you don't. So I just sit back, fish in the barrel.
But
Bang, bang, bang.
I promise you in the game, the first villagers that the wolves pick off are the ones who are most likely to identify them. That's just the process of elimination. The guy who's sitting back really thinking, get rid of him.
Knowledge
Why-
is get rid
why-
of it.
why would you not?
also think
That's my whole point I'm saying.
And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that's the middle class. The middle class are the people who are like, we're not poor and we're not rich, but we are rich enough to afford nice things, go on a vacation, da-da-da. Some dude in the damn projects who just a bum who ain't never even been outside of his damn city barely, he's not seeing things the same way as you. He looking at you like, shit, he richer than me. He got more than me. He's looking at you like you're his oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Versus where we might look at the rich like the oligarch, like, damn, this nigga fucking with us. Our CEO fucking with me at my work. This dude is looking at you and me. Oh, they think they hot shit, nigga. Like, they looking at us like we're standing in their way from getting to the goods. So we just gotta, I think the dynamic just needs to be realized. And this is the problem, a lot of people in our class, the middle class, we sympathize with the poor. So therefore we think the poor is inherently on our side. They're not. They will take what we got if somebody gives them an incentive to do it. And that's what we're going through right now.
Yeah, but it's always for the poor, it's going to be self-preservation. That's
Right.
human nature, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to be more willing to not rationalize when it comes to that. But like I say, but their mind, their state of mind will be easier to manipulate depending on the type of people and their knowledge. So that's why I said they're not much of a problem. We know we do this action, they're going to react this way 9 times out of 10.
I don't think middle class is much of a problem either, though, because when you look at the people who live in the middle class, they can't really, even though they make more than the poor, they can't think 2-3 months down the road when it comes to finances. So, and then the increase of people who
What the hell are you talking about?
why I'm saying that is to say that, bro, why I'm saying that is because
We all looking at you crazy.
yeah.
I'm just the one who said it.
2, 3
Middle class people is the middle class being.
They the ones thinking down the road.
We the ones thinking down the road.
So what I'm saying is that the rich think years down the road. Patrick Beverly Davis said this. They're able to think down the road for years. The same way with the people we're talking about who are going to introduce AI. They're able to think down the road. When we're speaking on the people that you said, oh, make choices, the increase of people who are not making choices, that's still a choice at the end of the day. And the reason why I'm saying the middle class furthers AI coming into it is because we like our cushy what we have.
We're the consumers.
At the end of the day, we're the consumers. We're the ones who like the comfortability that we have. The poor don't have that, so they're willing to risk it all. The middle class is not necessarily willing to do that. That's why when C-19 came up, a lot of motherfuckers took it because they weren't willing to take that risk. So when it comes to choice, when it comes to automation, in my opinion, the middle class is gonna what's the word for it?
But
catapult that.
Do y'all believe the
happening
poor
faster.
are the biggest consumers?
No. The middle class, the biggest consumer in America. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling you. The middle class is the one that's going to end up making the choice. We're the ones who have the choice in everything because we're the drivers of this country. The middle class is the driving engine of the economy. So if you got no economy, you can't innovate shit. That's why you see these other countries ain't got no innovation. We have to make the choice, but we can't make the choice based on one, sympathizing with the poor or aspiring to be the rich. You make that choice based on where you are today right now. And what you're saying is rich think generationally. Rich people think about what their grandkids
Those corporations do
for a
as
living,
well,
right?
yeah.
Let's go real high power. Let's go deeper than the surface level, right?
We're getting there.
Because what you're saying, it makes sense, but then once you start to understand conformity and how people think, 75% of people conform to what others around them think, even if it's the wrong answer, like C-19. We all knew it was wrong, but since everybody else was doing it, majority of people still went and got that jab.
And you told me, you was like, don't get that fucking jab, don't do this. And instead of listening to you, what did I do? I listened to people who I didn't even fucking know at my job, and I got one of the shots. I didn't get both of them because I thought about what he said. I got one shot, and then I was like, nah, this dude, viral, probably going to end up being right.
This is what I'm saying. The middle class, though, is
what I'm telling you is,
that.
don't ever dismiss nobody who's your peer. Listen to all your peers, then make a decision based off what your own process of elimination. But I give that as an example. You did say it. And if you're in the middle class, you're going to have those of you who work hard as hell. You work hard for your money, and I work hard for my money. Why did I listen to the bitch who is the daughter of the owner of my company? She's not even in the middle class. She's
because
rich.
at the end of the day, because hold on,
think about your family.
Because at the end of the day,
you respected that position that she had. You looked at her having a maybe higher position than your peer.
The ability to fire me.
She knows what she's talking about when that's not always the case. But the point I was getting at is where we grow up, the norms, the practices of the people around us shape everything from the language we use to the behaviors we engage in. So if everybody around you is a sheep, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a sheep as well. So you're expecting the middle class who they just want comfortability. As long as they got their home car garage, their kid is in a cool school district, they could take 1 or 2 family vacations a year. They're good with the system. They're good with the people getting fucked as long as they're not getting fucked. So this is why all the hope really falls on the lower class, because the middle class, they're not trying to give no pushback.
That's
all I'm saying.
Not only that,
real quick, you got some strong-minded people in the middle class. Don't discount the middle. You're in the middle class.
You do.
There were so many people in the middle class.
That's the difference. I come from there. I grew up down there.
So
I made it up
this
here.
is what
my
exactly.
mindset is not conformed to this. So my kids,
it's always going to keep rising. So the middle class are not far from the top. So you're still going to, you're comfortable now, but in a year 3, you're still trying to rise and reach certain levels to where you're financially free. Period.
Exactly. This is why I'm saying though that the middle class is the catapult for bringing something like automation is because you have 2 types of people who most people in the middle class are only, even though they're in the middle class, a check or 2 checks from losing everything.
Some people,
So when you have that, and then you have the authoritative figure like the government or whoever it is pushing this thing, and the advancement of most people not wanting to make a choice, that's a choice to go for what the government is saying.
You know what mirror neurons
You know what
are?
I mean? That's what that is.
What?
Are you familiar with mirror neurons?
In your mind.
Mirror neurons. I know what neurons are.
Basically, it's what you observe around you, your body and those neurons start firing and actually telling you to do it. So let's say like I'm here and I'm eating. Naturally, you seeing me eat, even if you're not hungry, is gonna make you want to eat. Or you see somebody yawn. Naturally, you yawn. You're like, why the fuck am I yawning? It's your mirror neurons. And what they found out was you don't actually have to physically be doing it for your body to receive as if you are doing it. So let's say I'm sitting here and I'm lifting weights. I'm watching him work out. My body is firing off as if I'm working out. And that actually will catapult me to want to work out. This is why they tell you exercise in front of your kids, because naturally they're going to want to take they're going to want to follow your lead as to what you're doing. What they don't realize is those are those mirror neurons firing. This is why your kids pick up your habits. Like we call them sponges. Yeah, they literally are.
Yeah, it's a part of...
If mom's a lazy fuck and sits on the couches and smoke and watches her stories and drink wine, guess what your kid gonna do?
It's a part of...
Naturally, they're gonna want to try the wine. This is why I don't drink in front of my kids. Because you're actually promoting them to do what you're doing, even though you can sit here and tell them, don't do this, don't do that. No, you dumb fuck. You actually physically doing it is catapulting them to physically want to go do it. Same thing in the middle class. If everybody is conforming, even though my brain is like, fuck, we got to break up out of this. But I just seen 75 coworkers go take the jab. But I had Messiah telling me not to. Guess what? I just watched 75 people do it. So you went and did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So seeing what other people do influences you to do the same. So if I am raised in the middle class, all I see is conformity. Ain't nobody pushing the needle. Like Kylie just said, we all 1 or 2 paychecks away from being down there. So I'm not trying to go down there. Whereas someone who came from down there is like, man, I done been down there. I could get back up. So I can push the needle because if I lose it all, I know how to get it back. Someone who never been there, guess what they doing? They lost their job. They're just scared. Wife, kids, Chris Benoit, bang, 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 bang.
I mean, it happens.
It's because they never experienced that shit. So you can't expect them to push the needle.
The thing is, there's a lot of people who came from the bottom into the middle class. The free market economy is the number one elevator of people from poverty into the middle class. So the beauty of America is we have millions of people who work from the bottom up and came from nothing. You hear that in every damn success story. So you do have a good, healthy contingent of people who question things. Like you question the jab. I took one shot. Then I was like, you know what? Nah, it don't feel right. I remember what you was telling me too. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do the next one. That might have prevented me from having some issues that I would have got if I had compounded it like most people did. You got other people who didn't 4, 5, 6 times vaxxed. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got a healthy contingent. But as long as we're aware that we have a choice in all this, you will be able to exercise that. But you will never make the choice that you're unaware of you having. And when people speak that rhetoric like, this don't matter, that don't matter. I don't like that talk because what I think it does is it programs people to believe they don't have a choice. You always have a choice, always. And when you make that choice, whether you choose to be aware of it or not, you are responsible for the consequences.
This is the problem.
Yeah, but a lot of things, I just want to say one thing. Just about the choice thing. Like a lot of things, 2 things can be true at once. But it's like if I have a kid that I want to promote maybe healthy or something, and I get a kid a choice of either eating peas or orange. Regardless, either one of these choices is the outcome that I want as far as promoting a healthy lifestyle. Right. So when I give the kid to makes it think it has a choice, you don't really have a choice. You're going to eat healthy regardless. So you don't really have a choice. I'm making you feel like that, but 9 times out of 10, you don't have a choice. You're going to eat healthy.
But I get what you're saying. But then it's like, so then what? When do we have a choice?
Here's what I'm telling you is this. So say you put the peas in the carrot or the peas in the orange, right? Once the kid tastes one and they like, I don't like that. Next time you present that choice to them, they're going to be like, I want this instead. They're going, nah, Dad, I don't like broccoli. That's what I'm saying.
It's still a
Sometimes
healthy
you got to
choice.
touch it. Sometimes you got to touch it to recognize you have a choice. There's some kids who be like, I ain't eating that shit no matter what. I'm a star.
This is what he's getting at. I gave you 2 healthy options. There was no unhealthy option there for you to choose from.
There's always an option of not eating.
I can give you choices, but I can skew your decisions based on the choices I give you. Also, I can alter your choices based on how much information I give you. So I might give you half of the story and the freedom of choice. But had you had the full story, you might have been influenced to make a different choice. So I'm still altering your choices based on the information I give you. The true freedom of choice is putting everything on the table, 100% transparency. There you go, make the choice for yourself.
It's just like when you got a kid and you say you're not getting up from the table till you eat all your carrots. If that kid really don't fuck with carrots, he just not gonna get up from the table. He gonna be like, I'm just gonna sit here. I have a nephew. He doesn't like eating chicken with the bone in it. I said, dude, you ain't gonna eat chicken because it got a bone in it. Bro sat at the table for like 6 hours in front of some chicken wings with the bone in it.
But if I
eventually I was just like, get your ass up.
How long?
I condition you to love carrots from birth.
Yeah.
Guess what? Your ass gonna love
You
carrots.
training.
And even with that chicken with the bone, let his ass sit there for 6 more hours and get hungry.
Facts.
I guarantee that bone will be shredded.
Tastes good as hell. Tastes good as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least
That's
he
a
had
fact.
the, look. But at least he had the time to think it through and then make his choice. And that's what I'm saying. Like COVID, they didn't give you time to think it through. They just tried to heap a bunch of fear-based programming on you. Like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. They just say, look, go do the research, take a couple months, take as long as you need, and decide if it's the best choice.
But the
They
COVID,
conditioned your mind.
exactly.
You gotta do it.
In the
They
same
conditioned
way,
your mind.
and that's exactly what I'm saying. How easy it is to turn over your mind. You being a sharp person gave in so quickly without questioning this. Like, how would they come up with a damn COVID vaccine that fast that they know works when they take so long to come up with these vaccines? And on top of that, people was already recovering from COVID without taking a damn shot. So it should have been common sense, but most of us is common senseless because it didn't make no sense to really go get that shot unless you was forced.
It was fear.
No, that's what I said. Based off of fear.
Well, it was
Yeah.
this.
Which made you
it
not
was,
think.
it was this. I thought about everything. It was because they were saying, oh, if you're in the health field,
You'll lose your job.
job.
Yeah.
So what I thought was like, dang, my whole family, my wife don't work. So I was just like, okay, my family is 100% dependent on me. So I was like, you know what? If I take it and I do drop dead, at least I'll get this $1 million life insurance policy and be straight.
So how much of a choice did you truly have?
Well, I could have just said, fuck it. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to just lose my job. I got a really
in
good
your
job. I
mind-
like it.
Right, but in your mind, that choice didn't make sense. So they did technically.
But I still had a
they didn't
choice.
they didn't force you, but they forced you by putting your livelihood on the line.
Do you know how many
what would've
nurses
been the
lost their
choice?
job because they refused?
I get it.
So
Man,
I-
shout out to them
yeah.
because them are the small percentages
Shout out
that
to
can
them.
move society. Most people are gonna cave. But what I'm saying
was
is
millions of them.
the true choice would have been, hey, take the shot. Or you don't have to take the shot. Either way, your job is still good. Your job's still secure. They said, no, take it or your job's gone. Now you force people by putting their livelihood up against what they believe
Which
in.
is what
Because
they're
what's
always
the-
going to do no matter what. And that's what I was
The
getting
first
at
thing
earlier.
that's
They're
gonna
not going
rise
to just...
when you have those choices is your fears. Damn, my family. Damn, my house. Damn this. They know they're putting that pressure on you. You're going to do this or you're going to get your ass up out of here.
No, and that's the pressure that the middle class faces every single
Exactly.
day, and that's what goes into their influence of making the choices they make. That's why something like automation, they will catapult that decision into society because they're not going to have a choice, so to speak. When you have families and loved ones riding or depending on you, the choice becomes much more clearer, even if it might not be the right choice at the end of the day.
And I'm gonna say this
you got-
one time. This is all alleged too. I was just reading this article.
Alleged.
Allegedly, there was like some little nanobots in that jammy jab, which they can activate. So these robots that's coming, everybody who took that shit, it ain't gotta knock you down. You're now a robot as well, where it can program you. It can program your shit to. This is the exact quote that one of the doctors said. Hey, when they push that button, you're gonna be having blood coming out of every orifice on your body. It can program you to do whatever. So you got a bunch of shit that's reading your DNA, it's attaching to your DNA, and when they hit them certain buttons or hit you with a certain frequency, you're no longer a threat. So only us pure bloods, we don't only hope out here. The Sarah Connors, the Will Smith, and the iRobots. So shout out to all the
Man,
nurses
Sarah
who
Connor got her
lost
ass
their job.
whooped. Hey, one thing I'll say on my last point, but guess what? This is why now you guys wonder why I'm so adamant about voting for Donald Trump. Because he was the president who was like, you got a choice to take it or not. Joe Biden got in office was like, you have to take it. If you, he mandated it. Like, you got to do it. So that's why now I'm like, nah, like, I'm really fucking with Trump because one president was like, they should be able to decide about whether they want to get a jab, whether they want to get an electric vehicle, all that stuff. On the other side, you got people trying to take your choice and force you to do it. That's why I choose one side over the other one.
Good cop, bad cop. Two wings on the same
I'm
bird.
choosing the
Two
good
sides of
cop.
the same coin. Fuck all that.
Choice or no choice?
Y'all got anything else, man? Before we get up out of here, I'm about to go shower, change. You feel me? I got
Wait,
some
you had a couple of...
business
y'all
to
gotta
attend
go.
to.
No, we gotta get
No, we gotta go.
traffic.
But what we can land one more. I mean, what
We
y'all
were
got
supposed to
something
talk
else?
about Obama telling the black dudes they gotta vote
Oh,
for
that
Kamala.
nigga wild.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Bruh,
okay.
come on,
Go
bruh.
ahead. I'll let you lead the
No,
way
yeah,
on this
just
one.
bitch ass Obama.
Whoa, hold on. You can't curse the first 3 minutes. Because when we clip this
He
up...
didn't know you started it over.
No, I'm saying when we clip it up on the second clip,
Yeah.
YouTube with the...
Yep. Former President Barack Hussein Obama recently launched a campaign against black men, shaming them for not supporting presidential nominee and candidate Kamala Harris. Obama said that if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you ain't black. No, he didn't say that. But
In other words...
He said we didn't turn out for her like him.
basically, Obama, and I don't understand why people keep falling for this. He's fake as hell. When he talk, you could tell he's talking to you. He sounds like the black dude on
He sound like a program
Was it
robot.
Romeo Must Die? Which one was it where DMX went in to buy that car and the black dude was the salesman and was like, don't worry, I'll handle it. He's one of my people. What? Which
Yes,
one was
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Cradle to the Grave? It was
Yeah,
one of
it
those.
was one of them.
Yeah. That's Obama. He sounds like a black, uppity used car salesman who sees a black person walk in and he's like, don't worry, Ted, I'll handle it. He's one of mine. This is Obama. He's just so condescending, so disrespectful.
He's a puppet.
He's talking down. Even if you're a puppet, you could be relatable. You know what I'm saying? He's talking down on black people. And ultimately, you know he doesn't respect you because he tells you to support Kamala Harris, but he'll never tell you why. All you got to do is say, you should support this person. It's like when you got a kid. You can get them to do damn near anything if you give them a good reason why they should do it. Obama doesn't do that. He doesn't respect African Americans. He never did. But he knows that we damn near worship him because he's black and he was the first black president. But ultimately, don't support her because Obama's disrespecting you. That's more incentive to not support Kamala Harris because she doesn't respect you. He doesn't respect you.
What's the question?
They're pulling at this point, they're pulling every rabbit out the hat to the point where they're trying to use Obama to influence us as melanin toned skinned people and trying to use you to dupe you. But the jig is up over there. Mm-hmm. After all that shit he did for the LGBTQ community, no disrespect to them, but he didn't fuck with us. People realize that ain't nobody really fucking with Obama. And anybody fucking with Kamala is you just an idiot at this point. Like, we know this bitch ain't got nothing going on. Ain't nothing. Damn, I keep forgetting.
Let me
I
get my
apologize,
point
but
real
nothing
quick.
in your favor. But at the end of the day, we see what's going on. Trump is going to win at the end of the day. Most people, it's people to the point where the truth, it's been stranger than fiction, but we see what's really going on, man. It's the wolves in sheep clothing ain't playing these games no more.
Let me get my point.
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go shower, and y'all could finish your monologue however long y'all want. Just remember to cut the camera and the recorder off. So basically, I watched the clip. It was absolutely disgusting. Number one, I was disgusted with every black man in there who sat back and took that verbal lashing with no pushback. None of y'all had a backbone. All y'all some bitch ass niggas, and it was fucking disgusting. Nobody had no pushback. You let dude come in here. First of all, his vibes was way off. If you just watch the clip, it almost sounded like he got somebody in his ear telling him what to say. Or the vibe was off. None of it looked natural. None of it sounded natural. It sounded hella condescending. He was talking down on y'all. Basically said, y'all ain't black if y'all don't vote for her because she went through what you went through. No, she didn't. She grew up well privileged. First of all, she was not raised by traditional black standards. She was raised by Indian ideology, by her Indian side of the family. She grew up to marry a white Jewish man. Not saying there ain't nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying she did not choose one of her own. She has no children. She did not procreate with one of her own, which I always say, if you are going to date outside your race, at least have procreated for your own to keep your own going, because that's what they doing. So nothing about her life ever showed she fucked with us at all.
She ain't one of us.
She was a DA. She was stripping niggas. I don't care if they skewed the numbers. I don't give a fuck if it was one nigga. She did wrong. She hid evidence. She made sure niggas went longer than they sentence. She did everything in her power to keep niggas locked up. I don't care if it was one nigga. She did that. Point blank, period. And Obama, for him to come out here and do what he did, like Messiah just said, nigga, the jig is up. Stop sending these goofball ass niggas to come talk to us. We don't fuck with these people. Y'all are losing your hold on the people. Even the Teamsters just came out and said, man, I've been Democrat for 50 years. And all the Democrats around me still fucking poor and broke. All the promises they made, it did not come true. Even they questioning it. So y'all, they can run this propaganda through the media however they want to. Put your boots on the ground. Talk to the people. They're no longer duped. You still got a couple dumb motherfucking house niggas getting paid off.
Why you pointing at me?
A lot of these dumbass celebrities that's getting bent over and fucked in the ass, so they gotta say it, because they own a lot of these freak off tapes. They ain't even getting a check. They just got fucked in the beginning of their career, so now they lifetime puppets. Yeah. Living your truth, bro, and you can break the chains. But all I'm saying is, black people, we got to come together and we got to identify who we are. Stop aligning with any of these parties. They all are compromised. I'm finna get right out of here.
Go ahead. No,
they all are compromised. We need to start a new party. Start the VwP party. We can name it whatever the fuck we want. Identify as us, and we come as a conglomerate power where now we have a seat at the table. We're not trying to beg for scraps at everybody else's table. This is another reason why they saying they might try to be trying to get Diddy up out of here, because he recently came out and was saying the same thing. Like, man, I'm finna put all my power and resources into giving us our own political party, because as I sit back and I'm preaching all this vote or die shit, we the ones out here dying. We doing all the voting and all the dying, and meanwhile, nothing's being written for us. No legislation. We not getting no reparations. We built the country. Like, we not even getting protections against getting lynched out here. Nothing. There's no laws in place. We seen 2 fights between an Asian and somebody else. Stop Asian hate. Here goes some money, reparations, all type of shit. Right. Niggas still getting lynched. Somebody was just hanging the other day.
That's crazy.
What is we talking about? Niggas get shot on camera, holding pots of water, all type of shit. Black people, when the fuck are y'all gonna wake up? Stop listening to these dumb fucks. They're just people like you and me. Well, some of them might not be. Some of them might be shape-shifting and all that, but you got to put your tinfoil hat to go down that rabbit hole with the reptilians and the grays and all that. I ain't gonna go that deep on y'all. Let's just stick to the surface. Let's stick to us. These are just people. When they are in front of you talking bullshit, give some pushback. He's just a man. He put his fucking pants on just like you, one leg at a time. You don't have to sit here and just listen to what the fuck these people say. Shout out to Bro 60 Minutes, who was grilling Kamala the other day.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, what the fuck is you talking about? This is what I asked you. You're not
Bill
finna
Whitaker.
do that.
And they edited
Bill Whitaker,
that.
you're not finna do what you did in that debate, bitch. Answer the question.
Stay
I was
on
giving
cue.
You feel me?
Yeah.
All that shit sound good, but let's stick to the topic. But yeah, man, Too Black, Too Strong. I'm out of here, man. Share, like, subscribe to the channel. The VwP, the villain is
Hey, I
gone.
just want to say one more thing. And everything that African Americans stand for, or whatever you think you believe about yourself, they go against the opposite when it comes to the Democrats. So stop fucking with all that shit. I'm not too big on this political shit, but we see in this day and age, we see what the fuck is going on. Y'all go ahead and
If
cook.
you want the politics, come over to my channel.
Pop your shit.
That's
Niggas fuck all that.
If you guys want my channel, it's Pan-Africanism
Look at
Strikes
him.
Back. we get deeper into the political aspect. I know some people are interested in that. We get deeper into the political aspect of that.
Now give them your insight though.
But yeah, I'm telling you, I look at it like this. You got 2 choices right now. I'm fucking with Trump. Nobody can say right now they having a better year than 2017, 2018. 2017, 2018 was all-star years for a presidency. Everybody was making bread. Everybody was making bread. Nick, I was flying to Africa like 4 or 5 times a year.
I missed that wave.
Bruh, you're right. Bro, I was getting tickets to Kenya round trip for $525.
That's crazy.
Now, go buy that same ticket, $1,800. Yeah. So I can see the impact that these niggas have had.
But I think a lot of that was just from COVID too.
No, it's because Trump did the oil shit where he made us oil independent, where we were exporting oil. The price of fuel was so fucking cheap, they had to artificially inflate it because it was going to put some of the oil companies out of business.
Right.
Trump has the record for the lowest petroleum like in like 50 or 60 years or something like that. But the thing is, I could feel the impact. And that's why I tell people, when you vote, or if you, I don't want to vote, think about what you're trying to do in the next 5 years. Stop thinking about slavery, civil rights and all that, the past. Think about, damn, I'm trying to start a company and get it to this point in the next 10 years, because that's going to be a better indicator of who you should vote for. And that's where I rest.
I don't got really much to say about it. Kamala's cooked. You know that because they brought Barack out, which we know is somebody that Black Americans, are diehard for. It just signifies that she's cooked. It's not much left. And the Democrats, they right now they're making me laugh because everything they're doing, I feel like for the Black people that are awake, is just turning us off more and more and more. Yep. And they don't even see it. Like, they have no clue that what they're doing is actually, you know what I mean, offsetting to us. So the Democrats right now are cooked. Kamala's cooked. I'm not political as much either, but I think Trump's winning this one. That's what it is.
We see what's going on. Y'all got any final words?
Yeah, it ain't much. It ain't much to say about it.
I don't even think as much like with Trump. Like, he got a beater. Like, as far as like more people voting for him, I really think Kamala Harris just hasn't given anyone a good enough reason to get off their ass and go to the ballot box to vote for her.
No,
like, people are gonna be like forgetting it's even election day because she's that bad. And all I'm saying is, vote for Democrats if that's what you think and that's what's best for you. Some of y'all in unions, y'all love Democrats, but don't let them give you no.
What she's doing, bro?
Don't let them give you an inept ass, unqualified person. Even when you watch the interviews and shit, all you're seeing is she's not qualified.
Facts.
She couldn't get a job at fucking Wiener Schnitzel. The way she be answering questions.
The only interviews she cooks on are the celebrity streamer interviews that she's been setting up. And I feel like her amongst a lot of Democratic candidates, their method is to get the youth, like, because they know the youth is young and liberal and progressive because they haven't necessarily experienced certain things in life. So I feel like her going around to the All the Smoke podcast, Call Her Daddy, a couple other podcasts, she's trying to get the youth. That's really where her only influence is setting in my opinion.
But
like,
let me tell you why she cooks on those. Because the hosts do most of the talking.
They're not asking any questions. Yeah, they're not true journalists. So when you go on an ABC or wherever she just went the other day, where they're going to keep you on topic, it's hard for her because her spiel is, "I was raised in the middle class." That's her answer in response to damn near 70 to 80% of the questions. I was raised in the middle class, so I can resonate with y'all.
And none of
her answers are from the heart. They already like programmed answers that you already know, like, to take this fucking angle. This is why you keep getting the repeated answers from everything, where they can bring up a million clips of her saying the exact same shit. And then a lot of those you said, they're only asking her certain questions. She's not being really mentally challenged. She's going on places where she knows she might can outthink or just try to do somebody mentally and manipulate them in a sense. So, man, do what y'all need to do. Whatever, go vote. But as far as Black people, we need to stick together, man. Go share, like, and subscribe to the VwP podcast. Go tap in on Uncle Ruckus shit. Man, we got Kali the One. You know I'm Messiah the Great. We out here to lead the way, man. VwP.
Ain't no handouts, I did it from the ground up. In the streets, thugging hardest where they found us. Got a problem, nigga, watch my troopers mount up. My bitch a gang too, and you a lame though. You niggas ain't outside, yeah, we came through. You want your lights up, we put you on the shade.